The New World Order.
NWO.
The NWO, not that I knew what I was going to call it or how I was going to do it, but the general concept started to take shape in my head probably 6 months before. Maybe more, maybe less, but before. And then when Scott became available, and ultimately Kevin.
Well, the whole reason it worked was because people thought Vince sent me there and then a week later Kev to kill WCW. You know, I mean, Bischoff played that up too, because the only thing he said to me before I went out was, he wrote it down on a piece of paper. You know who I am, but you don't know why I'm here. Because that's implying, like, yeah, I'm raised. And Larry Zbyszko, God bless him, he helped me so much in my career. He helped me in the AWA. And he was like an announcer then for Nitro, and he worked, you know, kind of in the office. And Bischoff was just gonna sit me down the aisle with ring music and have me do an interview. And Larry went, no, he doesn't work here. He has to come through the crowd. And to me, that was crucial.
What are you talking about?
Look here.
Well, what the hell?
Wait a minute.
Somebody give me a mic. Give me a mic.
What's with this?
Both Scott and Kevin had worked at WCW before, felt that they were misused, mistreated, and abused, went over to WWF to become big stars, and now they were coming back to extract their revenge. That's it.
I remember looking at Vince in pantomime. You can tell him, give me the money, I'll stay right here. I went out there and rocked it with Triple H. One of my best matches of my career, and I put him over. Fans chanted, you sold out. You sold out. And I remember thinking, yeah, I feel like I did. I remember I've already done the starving artist thing. You know, I've been chanted Razor all over the world. Now I want the money. So I'm thinking, now I go back. I haven't gotten hurt. I'm so happy. I'm done. I'm done. They're setting up the cage. Kev's gonna wrestle Shawn. He's putting Shawn over, and we're out of there. And now I get summoned to Vince's office in the garden. So I walk in, he goes, damn it, you still work for me. He goes, how much did sons of bitches offer you? I said, Vince, I don't feel comfortable talking about this. I came to you months ago. And he goes, how much? I told him we were over. He goes, that's pretty good when business is strong. I said, I didn't ask you to match it, you asked me. And I said, I'm not cool talking about this. I told Bischoff I'm coming to work for him tomorrow. And so while we're in this pause in the conversation, Shawn comes bolting in and goes, I want, Rage to come out at the end of this match, come to the ring. And he goes, is it important to you? And Shawn went, yeah. He goes, okay, make it happen. And like my first match at Madison Square Garden was half full. I wrestled Randy. My last match there was sold out, and I was one of the reasons why. And it felt really cool. And then left and started on Nitro the next day.
I had wanted to turn Hulk heel 6 months prior to that, approximately. At that time, he had 4 pay-per-view appearances and some TVs leading up to that. That was part of his contract. And we had already used up, I think, all of them, or maybe we had one left or something. I don't remember what it was. And he went off to go do a movie.
I remember one night we went to the ring, and there was like they were going to send the whole company down. I said, we got to have something. I said, can you get us some aluminum baseball bats? So Ellis rigged a working one quick. Then we had the real one. So when I went down to the ring, I hit the steps with the real one. Crowd heard the noise. Scott hit the first guy coming in with the gimmick one through the ropes. He went down. Now it's 2. Are you gonna go through the ropes with 2 guys back to back with aluminum baseball bats? Knowing you got to bend over, no. So we go off the air with the Charlotte police undoing their guns. It's real.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah.
Where is your partner?
You know Scheme Gene? Chico, you know too much already. All you need to know, little man, is he's here and he's ready.
How do we lose the court case? He's not doing Razor Ramon.
Is your partner telling me that your third man is in the building?
Oh, he's here all right, Gene. Let me tell you something.
I was filming a movie out in LA, and Eric had approached me about turning heel. I went, no, brother, it doesn't work for me right now. I was making really good money there, guaranteed money, and I just wanted to keep things going the way they were, even though the red and yellow thing was starting to lose a little bit of luster. And it was getting old.
They not like us.
He knew it wasn't working. He knew what people were saying. And sure, he saw that it was the right idea. And to a degree, I guess that's, self-serving, but it was also the best thing for the company.
Because I was filming a movie out in LA, and Eric had approached me about turning heel. And no, brother, it doesn't work for me right now. I was making really good money there, guaranteed money, and I just wanted to keep things going the way they were.
See ya. Oh, fuck. Now it was, okay, who do I make that third guy? Who's that big surprise? What do we do? Sting was the obvious candidate because I didn't think Hulk was going to do it.
If it was Sting, it didn't make any sense because it was the WWF, but it wouldn't have been us against them.
And I saw, Scott come out on,
And then I got a phone call from Hulk.
Said, hey, I'm your third man.
I said, okay, tell me about it. Because he had been
watching this from LA. He goes, oh, thank God. Because we were going to go with Sting. I said, bro, you can't go with Sting. He's not WWF from head to toe. It's in my blood. I mean, I'm the guy.
Sure. Did he see the momentum? Of course. He's not stupid in terms of making that change. He didn't want to do it if it wasn't the right idea. And it took a lot for me to get Sting to do it. Then I get the phone call from Hulk. So now I got to keep Sting as a backup plan because I wasn't 100% positive that Hulk was actually going to go through with it.
Eric didn't want to tell anybody, so up until the time I went to the ring, Eric goes, Hogan's not here yet, which of course I was outside hanging out. Hogan's not here yet, and if he doesn't come, we're sending Sting. So Scott and Kevin went not knowing if I was coming, right?
I couldn't have Hulk come to the building early because I've been reading about this shit. So I had to keep him away. I knew he was volatile, and I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't manage him. So that's where Kevin Sullivan came in.
That's the most fictitious story of all times. There was no plan B. Let me tell you the story. I made Hogan come to my house, sleep in my house the night before the event. I had a 4-bedroom house. I gave Hogan a bedroom. When the show came on, I waited till the television program was on. The first match was in the ring. I got in Hogan's limo. We went to there. I don't know what I would have done if Hogan backed out.
First thing you realize, brother, is this right here is the future of wrestling. You can call this the new world order of wrestling, brother.
The New World Order. NWO.